Hey, I want to share another experience, and this one was, yeah, before Darius and before anything, basically. This was in my kind of mid 20s, late 20s, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. My life was a mess. I mean, really, my life was a mess. I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying my best. You can say, I was in this transition where all my life I've been kind of like a underground slash type of life where you kind of, yeah, you're a rebel, you just don't follow the law. You just don't want to work 9 to 5 all your life. So you're just finding other way, all this kind of crazy life, partying, experimenting with drugs and like, not like heavy drugs, but just like, in this culture, drinking, just had no, how can I say it, just survivor mode in a sense. At the same time you're trying to be the nice guy that has the family, the kid, and try to build a life. So I was everywhere, and at the same time nowhere, lost, confused. I remember it was a tough time. And then I was in the couch. I don't remember, I was sitting in the couch, then suddenly I felt this peace. Just felt this peace. I was staying on the couch. Then, out of nowhere, this wave. It was like a wave ish, but it was changing, And this wave was with a sparkle of white lights. They were turning on, turning off, and they were like 30, 40, 50, maybe more. But like they were, yeah, you would turn them on and turn them off. They were like small sparkles of light, and they were like, it was coming like a, yeah, it was floating like this, and I spotted it. It was like close to the TV and was coming through the side in my couch in the living room through my window. And as it came, it was maybe a meter away, and then I started like, what is this that I'm seeing? They were like sparkles of light. They were, yeah, quite many actually. And they were disappearing and coming back, disappearing. But some were disappearing, some was coming back, some was coming back, some were disappearing. So there's like they had this nice flow. And in my life, I've never seen anything like it. Maybe movies, but like never in this reality. And then this thing was approaching my legs because I had my legs on the couch. First, I was afraid, but then I said, "Oh, huh, this is looks amazing. Let's see what happened." So as it came, I suddenly got a bit scared because what is this? What did this come from? At the same time, I was somehow calm because I was in peace. And then when I just let this wave hit me, and it came closer and closer. It got colder and colder and colder, and it got very cold. And I said, "What is this?" Then suddenly, I just went out of my body. And then I was seeing past life of mine where I was in the field, and yeah, I was walking, and I came down. I met two other beings, and I had a conversation with them. And in this life, I was maybe, if you can say the old days, you'll be like 60, early 60 something, with this old hat. And but I looked very successful. I felt very successful. I had these big lands. I was I had this feeling a very well known, very loving. I was very loving. I was very respectful. I felt there was no. It was different place. I don't know what it was, but it was like, this kind of feeling when you see the gladiator when he comes back home and he touches the corn and this beautiful music in the background. It was like this place. And then I came back. I was amazed. I mean, amazed. And I felt amazing. I was like, wow. And then at the same time, I understood this is magical. This is magical, and I could feel the energy was. It's just like an inner knowing, a remembrance when you're in this state. Maybe because this is the state we are normally used to be when we live forever in that state, and then we come here, we experience this other state that is in this reality, and you know what I mean. So yeah, as I understood what was going on, I remember right away, I want to be rich. Like, I felt like I was talking to the genie out of the bottle. Like this thing was the genie, I was the Aladdin now. It's like in my mind, I was so programmed. You need money, you need to, yeah. Uh, at this time, I was living in Norway. I lived there for 15 years. So as I as I was rich, because there's like money, it's like having a big house, having a lot of money, having a good quality life, and just, yeah, show off in a sense, or just to fit in for some different groups. You need to be in a certain level state, or have some kind of money, or drive, or maybe the Tesla car. You have groups in Norway where they're like Tesla members. It's crazy. It's so many of those kind of things, to kind of be accepted in a sense, to look good on paper, this kind of things. And I was so far from it at that time. So I was like, that's what I was seeing. I was seeing Hollywood. Oh, you want to, they like, I remember people looking at Oprah. I couldn't believe when it just like it hit me, like people were going crazy when, let's say, a guy comes into Oprah. They go crazy. I mean, they go insane. They like, oh, they seen an actor, and they think he is God. They forgot about themselves, their children, their husband, or when they became so glad when their children came home from school. Never, like that. In that, they were like insane. They were screaming like they seen. You, yeah, you can say like a big fan, Jesus ish. But this isn't just a normal guy. You just feel it like this is just all fake, but because he can act, and then he suddenly get to be so rich and so famous, and people just bow down to him in a sense. So I didn't recognize this, but at the same time, this kind of was going on, and everybody was behaving like this. And she look around like, you think you are crazy. So before you know it, you somehow want to be like this guy, like the Hollywood, like we all, because that's how the mind works for everybody. We can look different, have different experience, but we are programmed the same, in a sense. Maybe the same, but different story, or different things. So I was chasing this kind of life, with the best clothes, with the nicest car, with a lot of millions in the bank, and blah, blah, blah. And I remember I said, okay, I want money. Show me money, in that state after I came back from the experience. And then I went out of the body again. And then I was observing this beautiful house. And I was at the same time imagining, like, you see in the Hollywood when they show their houses with 25 bedrooms, 50 cars, private plane, you know, everything was similar, but at the same time, it showed me I was seeing it, and then kind of the air disappeared, like there was nobody that was living. Some this thing is like what I was understanding telepathically. This is not what you want. Look, this is a dead thing, and then the suddenly got rotten because it was somehow abundant and everything like was growing grass, like the air disappeared in a sense. There were no oxygen. It was strange. And I saw this house and I got this telepathy. This is not what you want. A kind of an understanding and remembrance. And then somehow I wanted this beautiful car as well, and that was not the case either. Even if I fantasized the best car, that yeah, I wanted and everything. But when I came through this experience, I remember my girlfriend actually was sitting close to me, and I think she felt this experience as well somehow. Because when I came back, she could see I was a changed man, and I went again, gone. And I came back again for the second time after this experience, like this is not what you want, and I felt it. I was in it. I understood it. I remember it. That I've been deceived. Basically, I've been so brainwashed because there I just felt it and saw it from a different perspective, from God point of view. It's like an understanding. I have difficulties to really explain it, but there you feel it, explain it, understand it. You just be like, okay, sorry, I didn't know. I don't want this. So I had this kind of understanding when I came back, and I remember saying, "My God, listen, I don't want money. I don't want the big house. I don't want the car. This is not it." I understood that kind of there is more. It's how we are with each other. It's who we really are. That kind of was the value, in a sense. That the other thing, money and cars and these kind of things that we see in the television, they are not it. It was not it, and I felt it, and I understand it. I remember it. That was kind of mean annoying. So yeah, I come back in a second time. Then I just like, yeah, okay, so fuck it. But I was amazed, of the experience, of the love, of the bliss I felt, like what's going on. This is God showing me stuff. And then somehow I wanted another one experience. I went out of the body again. And this happened between, I don't know, in a consciousness state when I came back through the experience. It was maybe very fast, but I don't know how long I was, maybe seconds or minutes on the other sides, second minutes from this reality. There I was like, yeah, seeing a movie, being in places. I was being there, seeing that, feeling that, spontaneous out of body. And then in the third one I was in a robot body. It felt like this was in the future, long in the future, where I kind of integrate my consciousness in this robot body. So I don't know what's going to happen with this physical body. This was a potential future, and this was kind of, yeah, many years ago. This was like before we knew about robotics and all these kind of things, where the internet was quite new actually. So this is a long way back, at least 15, 20 years, I don't know. So yeah, I was in a robot body and I had a child robot with me as well. Maybe this was a kind of AI tool or a chat GPT bot or who knows what it was. It was like it was somehow my child, but that I've created. Somehow it didn't make any sense why I was with this. And then somehow I was in this kind of a laboratorium with, you see in movies they gonna go to space, all these big places with the rockets and elevators and going places. Somehow me and this robot, we were free, kind of. It was a line, people was going to go places, maybe teleport in the future, who knows. But I just knew where I wanted. I just came close to that state. I went close with this baby robot I had. It was kind of like this big. And I was like this, you see in the Marvel movie, this kind of robot, but I was white, like in a Robocop-ish. And then the elevator was kind of in the first floor, so I had this fire under my feet. I just levitated through this elevator, me and my small robot, and then the elevator went, and then I came back. I understood it was a future potential, but now there are robotics and all this kind of crazy stuff is happening. But I think this is even more in the future. I don't know. But as I felt, my consciousness was in that robot for some reason. And I tried to figure out, but it's difficult. I said, okay, if Darius says we can live hundreds of years, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, well, nobody wants to live that long. But if it's for a cause, or if it's something you decided, or it's 100 years, or 300 years, or 50 years, or 900 years, for me, it's like, yeah, there is no. For me, there is no difference because I know when I'm been there, I know where I go when I'm finished here. If it's gonna take me so long to, like, in the human years, to achieve my thing, I will do it. But yeah, I felt amazing in this robot body as well. I felt like me. I didn't feel anything. I felt my consciousness was in there. It was me. And in this life, I trying to be in this physical body as long as possible. I'm trying to maintain it to be healthy. But yeah, let's see what happened. But yeah, it looked like a potential. So this and those experiences somehow, you know, kind of got me really to dig deep. I mean, deep to the spiritual stuff. So this kind of really triggered everything. But I didn't make any sense at the time because my life was in ruin. I had so much problems, so bad habits, so many addictions. Oh my God, about everything. Yeah, look around. What everybody's kind of, yeah, looking for and searching, and yeah, so amazing experience. It didn't make sense at the time so much, but now it really does. It really does. So yeah, in a robot body, why not? Why not? And if I stay in this physical body, in this meat suit body, why not? But it will be kind of a little bit more easier to have the same abilities in same country, because this physical body, yeah, it's nice, you can have, but it's tough, man. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough because they poison you from the sky, they poison you from the food, you don't have control, they govern over you, you can be injured, you can be shot, you can be sick. They can mess with you that you cannot receive the other side, so if a robot body, and you have pain, you have resistance, and if a robot body can kind of somehow clear out all this stuff, and you just, because yeah, you can call it a bit like modern compared to this physical body, but I think we've been living here for so long in this physical body for so many, I don't know, hundreds of years, and it's about time that we change to something new. And it can look scary for some people. I don't look it scary. It's like, if I can put my conscience to a robot body and keep doing my thing here, helping other people or traveling places, who knows what we are able to do in the future. And you just need to take your body with you. It's perfect to put everything, who you are, in this meat suit, if it's in a robot body. Either way, I will do it if the technology is good enough at that time. Hopefully, I will know it for sure. But for now, I'm feeling amazing in this physical body. I'm not thinking about changing any parts before finding that out for myself. Because normally, what I do, I just relax, enjoy, study, nourish myself, love myself, figure out stuff, clean out stuff. Uh, at the same time, yeah, learning more. And if I'm gonna do a big step, I need to see it in my vision, and I need to feel it like I normally do. That this is it. This is my next clue. That's how I've been going so far. That's why I'm having these experiences, because I'm listening to my signs, to my inner self, my inner soul, when it communicates. Because in these kind of states, you just connect. Yeah, you'll be a lot in your mind. You'll go a lot of stuff. It's a part of the process, And we're just having an experience. It's nothing to be serious about. Sometimes I do forget, you know. But I remember a quote from Lisa M. Harrison, Darius' partner. She mentioned in a video I saw, it was on YouTube. She had some energy things she had published there, and some other things, deconstructing the construct. And someone was asking, when you live in this high frequency, how do you deal with it? And she mentioned, like, because it can be tough sometimes, you just forget and you get caught in your thoughts and you are there. She says, just like, imagine you're kind of in a dream and start to be lucid, to live kind of, you lose it in a dream. And it's like that, actually. When you realize the other side, this is a dream, but I just need to be lucid. Then you be kind of more present, then you're more aware that you're doing it with purpose. You realize, as crazy as it sounds, but for me it works. I'm in a lucid dream. I see people around me, they too are dreaming, but they are not lucid. They really believe this dream. They live it, they enjoyed it, of course, in their own belief system, like I used to do. But yeah, then you just are more kind of okay, and then kind of nothing matters in a sense, because you just have a full over understanding, and it's easier to. I still forget this. I'm just working on this. It's very good when you realize it, and somehow frequency rises right away, because then you are aware. Okay, I'm present now. Because sometimes you get caught up. Oh, you go there, you get there, you do this, do that, and hours being gone. You scroll some hours, and it's like, what's going on? Where have I been? It's like, okay, back to classics, music or something. Just try to find out what's work with where you are. What do you feel? But yeah, like Lisa mentioned, being lucid in this dream, you can enjoy it more, in a sense, and then doing the practice. And doing this practice, you somehow need to forget this reality to reach that really state Darius talks about. That I'm saying, you can have a concept what he's talking about, what this is, but it's totally different when you experience for yourself. I mean, it's totally different. You need somehow really to have this out of body control, like he says. I'm too struggling a bit, but I know it's not for long. It's just a process, takes some time, and it's normal. But to really let go of the fear and all these things that's kind of, yeah, hindering you to fully achieve this stuff, and just forget that you somehow need to kind of disconnect from this reality, to go to that stage for a period of time where you just like, look around me, just people over everywhere, or just playing there, or nature, or birds, and yeah, okay, okay, okay. But then I need to go there and have some experiences and bring some abilities back, because then life is kind of funny to play with, because then you are kind of developing something new. You start in the school, like life earth school all over again, but from the lucid dreaming point of view, and you access more information, and hopefully help other people. And yeah, that's a way, that's another reason to stay here, because if you know all of this, you just don't want to be here, because there's nothing more here for you. But for me, my soul decide I need to be here, and who knows what's going to happen. But I know, as long as I share my experiences, and those who resonate with me, hopefully they can have some knowledge from this, and experience in their own experience, and use these tools that I am telling now somehow. If it can help one of you, I'll, yeah, I'll be very happy. So see you in the next one. Keep enjoying your day. Keep taking care of yourself. Nourish yourself. Practice when you can. Raise your frequency the best way you can. Study other people. Can give you some ideas what to do, how to release. But for mostly just being with yourself in a place of allowing. I think this is the best way. But just figure out for yourself and see what works for you. Okay, see you.